You're 3 years into your relationship. Then Indiyah was spotted kissing inside UK star Marlon Garcia.
When these videos come out, all of my friends, all on their phones, and I have to listen to everybody's phone ping at the same time. What was such a beautiful relationship to now this is how it ends. My dad was a dreamer. And something inside me just always felt like maybe there's more. And then I get a call that's like, I'm just calling from Love Island. I said, oh, hold up. Let's make good TV. The first year I made like 600.
Wait, hold on, damn it.
Yeah, so it's like, my dad was so happy now.
What did you love about Indiyah?
I loved her feistiness.
It's not sitting right with me, I'm not gonna lie. Because I'll deal with you later, it's fine.
Her popularity shot up quickly. When you two left, I would imagine that there was a lot of pressure immediately to then sustain that, because so many couples break up.
They've been accusing me. Cheating, I'm gay, they attack my masculinity.
So for everyone making the noise, what do you want to tell them?
When my dad died, I feel like everything anyone could say about me, it just didn't matter anymore.
It gives me chills when you said that, because I could see he was everything to you.
I've never had my heart broken before.
Hey there, before we begin the episode, I just want to say thank you for choosing We Need to Talk. Doing this podcast is one of the greatest joys of my life, and I want to continue to share it with you. So please subscribe. It's free, it takes just a second, and it helps us to continue to grow this podcast. Dami Hope, We Need to Talk.
Sweet.
I haven't seen you to sit down to do a long form interview like this.
This is my first ever one. I feel like there's certain reasons why I actually stepped away from, doing things like this.
Okay.
Yeah, so.
Okay. So why talk now?
Why talk now? It's because I feel like I have a lot to just get out. So it's not even to like try and convince anybody, oh, I'm this or I'm this person. It's just to actually speak my truth. And you can take away whatever it is that you want from it, but hopefully you actually take an actual understanding of me.
Okay.
If that makes sense.
I love it. I love it. So I think in order to get to know who you are, let's go to the roots.
To the roots.
The roots. And I feel like the roots are Nigeria.
The roots are Nigeria. And it's something I'm proud of. Like, I'm proud of being Nigerian. I'm proud of, my family. I'm proud of what my family did to, try to give us a better life, because my dad was a dreamer. He's the reason why we probably migrated to Ireland.
Yes.
And just as a kid, I can remember flashes of me getting to this point where we're in Ireland. Obviously, probably not legally or wherever way, because we're very clever people. Nigeria,
very clever
people. So it's obviously there's a plan in place to how to to make sure we're able to stay here. And I feel like back in them days was a bit easier.
Yes.
As opposed to now.
Because this is the 90s.
Yeah.
When you came,
I say 90s. I was born 96.
Okay.
I think I was in Nigeria till maybe I was about 3 years old, and from there I remember me and my little sister. She was 2 years after me, so it was just me and her, and then it was me and my mom, and then my dad, and then he'd bring us over to Ireland. And I remember I think at first we used to live in a hostel with a bunch of loads of different people, because obviously when you come to this place, it's you're trying to find a place for your for your family and for yourself.
Yes.
And I remember little flashes of just it's just as a kid, you can remember just little dots of moments.
Yes.
Of oh, I'm in this hostel. I can see my mom playing chess with people that she's just making friends with in this situation. And I know everybody was against him doing this, because I remember my grandmother told me, because my mom is from my grandmother's side, and she was like, we don't have to to go and do all these things, but obviously he wanted to make something out of himself.
Yes.
for the family. I remember this memory of my dad. I was sitting on my dad's lap, and then he has a car, and he's I'm sitting on the lap, and my hands are holding it, but he's there, and I'm only I think at this point I'm only even just 5 years old, but it's a very vivid and clear imagery I have of him. And then I remember alongside that we finally got I think an estate house.
Okay.
So now we actually got like a place, and it was like maybe 3 bedrooms. It was like our first home there, and we're shifting from one house to another house. It's just me and my sister until obviously, they start adding, the new members now. Yeah. That's the clever part for like why we're going to be able to stay here or whatever,
Yes.
So they start adding them, and then,
Can we expand on that? Because I get what you're saying.
You get what I'm saying, right?
But if you could paint the picture, because I don't think your family's going to get in trouble, because almost everybody was doing that. Yeah. So it was you and your sister.
Yeah, it was me and my sister first. We were Nigerian, like we came from Nigeria, and then I think we had like my younger brother, and he was now Irish. Like now he was born in Ireland, and then every other sibling we had after that. Me and my sister don't have any Irish or English names, but those lot. They got the names. So like he got David, they got Cynthia, they got Amanda. Me, it's just Femi and Dami. You know what I mean? It's just straight Nigerians. But the ones that came with the Irish passport, they got the Irish names. They got the names too. You get me?
Yeah, definitely. So with you coming in, I looked at that period of the late 1990s, early 2000s in Ireland. One, because I'm just fascinated about Ireland. But secondly, because you were coming, and I saw that that period was called the Celtic Tiger, where Ireland traditionally had these very high rates of unemployment. But then during that period, everything took off. The economy took off, and there was this great demand for service workers. So much so that the population within Ireland couldn't maintain it. So I think that was your father being clever, smart, saying, this is a great opportunity for me. So he selected Ireland. What was it that your father and mother were doing for work? You remember?
So my mother has always been like in care. So she's always studied care. She's always done care. Like my dad, I say he's a man of all trades.
So strong, you say strong family unit.
Yeah, very, very strong family unit. Because there'll be times where it's like my dad would probably have to relocate we live in Wexford, he'd have to relocate to Dublin for whatever job he has to do. And we probably wouldn't, and he'd have to get a place over there. So we probably wouldn't even see him now. I feel like it was a lot of hard work, whatever they were doing at that age. But when you're young, I'm just seeing that I want to play outside. I just want to, make friends and stuff. But then when you look back at it, it's like they've done a lot for us. Like, they've done a lot for me, my siblings. And like, and there's a lot of happy memories in it, because some people, the situation could be like horrible, but I don't remember it as being horrible. I remember still being like a happy, youthful kid that got to play outside, that still got like bicycles whenever, you know what I mean? They still got all these little things that, you'll see other kids get like in your neighborhood. And like, I'm enrolled in school now, and school is amazing. You're making more friends, and you're now part of like a system.
Yes.
You know what I mean? Like you're actually inside the system. I'm enrolled in school. I'm doing all these things. Yes. So it's like now I'm part of Ireland.
Interesting.
You get what I mean?
I get what you mean, but it's interesting to me because you are Nigerian.
Yeah.
But at a very young age, you're in Ireland. So there's a cultural difference.
Yeah.
There's also a racial difference.
Yeah.
Because I was looking at the stats too, is in that time and even now, less than 1% of Ireland is black.
Yeah.
So you are distinctly different, but how you describe it, you felt like you were fully accepted and brought into the community.
Yeah, and there was, at that time, I can say there wasn't actually many black people that lived in our town. So it was very kind of like, it was just very like unique and happy that, people are actually accepting of that. At that point, it wasn't racism, because I was the kid that I could jump higher than everybody else. I could run faster than everybody else. So it's like I was using all these talents that comes with me probably being, from my ethnicity to kind of show off. So then it's like people look at that and then they kind of like pull you closer when you can do all these things. It's not like, it's like I'm a monkey dancing for people. It's just like I'm using these things that I know will kind of give me more appease to people. Okay. Even at an early age to like, but then the only thing I'll say is like, I feel like even at an early age, it's just when it comes to like, a teacher saying your name or, mispronouncing it. And then that's when it starts becoming, oh yeah, I remember now I'm still kind of different. Because you do the roll call,
yes.
And it's like I'm doing all these things. Yeah, I'm accepted, but then the roll call, and they're trying to say my name, but she's butchering it. She's not saying it. She's not saying it the way she's saying James and, you know, Henry and, you know, Samantha. She's saying, it's like, I did, and it's very, and then you just remember that, oh, okay.
Is that when you change, because you go by Dami?
Yeah, I go by Dami, and I feel like a big part of the reason for it is like, even though I was young, it was still something that kind of stuck with me all the way from primary school to like secondary school, because my full name is Adeydamola Omobolaji, and then like I feel like when teachers would go to the Omobolaji part, it would be like they would kind of say apology, and then it would be like this little smirk, like, and you know, as kids we make jokes and we tease each other and stuff like this, and it's like it's funny, yeah, but then at the same time it's like it's not that hard to say, and it's like it can't really keep being like this every day, and then now the kids have a new joke, you'd be like, oh, apology. You know what I mean? But I'm not an apology. I'm not sorry. You know what I mean? There's nothing. So, but it's a thing that like it kind of sticks. And then as obviously I got older, and you know, even in secondary school, it's like now at this point now I'm a teenager. I'm closer to an adult. So when it's still happening, it's like, yeah, it's not like I'm changing for anyone else, but it's more like, you know, you can just call me Dami. Just call me Dami. Do you know what I mean?
Yes.
Like, there's some people that actually did try and they'll pronounce it well, or they're fascinated by the name, or they'd be like, oh my God, how do you say it? You teach them and they get it. But there's some people never really cared to, you know, ask how to say it. And they'll just keep switching it a different day, remixing it a different day. And then, you know.
Yes. You know, we had Big Zoo on.
Yeah, Big Zoo, okay, yes.
Who I love, right? But his name is Zahir.
Zahir, yes.
Right. And I was asking him about
this.
He
said only his mom calls him that, right? Yes.
Exactly. Only his mom calls it. And I was asking him, how does he feel knowing that his name, he's had to anglicize his name in order for other people to be more comfortable. And he felt uncomfortable initially, right? So he has to put himself in a place of discomfort to make others feel comfortable. I feel like this is what often happens when we're anglicizing names, or but now I get it, because we're trying to fit into a culture. That part of anyone's life, right, is so important, because you're what, early teens,
probably like 12, 13,
13. You're beginning to figure out what your identity is.
Yeah.
And I always say that our identity is the story that we tell about ourselves, right? So at that age, what was the story you were telling about yourself? To yourself?
To myself, I feel like I was, the story I was telling to myself is, like I'm supposed to be somebody. The type of music that I liked at that point, I loved Eminem so much. Like I'd run away on the computer, mixing little CDs of Eminem, because obviously at that point you had to like rip file and download it, so you didn't have to pay for it and stuff like this. I'd be finding new ways to do. So I was kind of like very nerdy, and very like, who I was is very nerdy in the sense that like I would make things happen for me. At the end of the day, say I'm alone, I cry about it, but I will eventually, you know, be where I need to be, make the friends that I need to make. It's the same way, you know, I've done it before. It's just I will do that again. And am I answering your question?
No, you're answering perfectly.
And there's one of the boys that I really loved. Like he loved rapping, I loved rapping, and we'd always be doing it on break. And it was like our escapism. It was Facebook era, and I feel like it got to a point, you know, back in Facebook days, like all the kids used to like, you know, change their names on Facebook. So you try and like have a stage name. And obviously I used to write like bars, I used to write poems, I used to write stories and stuff like this. And I remember I was like just thinking, I was feeling down on myself, and I was like, yo, like I was trying to figure out like which names I could do. There was one, I was like, damn Zola. I was like, damn Nader. I was like, you know, I was just like free ball and stuff. And I was like, but no, that doesn't hit. Like, what do I need? Like, what do I need in myself? Like, what do I always need? And then I was like, hope. And I was like, yo, Dami Hope. And then literally I just put my name that same day on Facebook, put my name Dami Hope. It was a thing where it was like, it's no mistake now, I've reintroduced myself. This is who I am.
That's wild. I shouldn't say that. That's fascinating. You named.
Yeah.
You came up with that name.
Came up with that name. I literally sat down, changed my name on Facebook, came in the next day. It was a thing where it's like, if you know me, it's Dami Hope. And then from then, it's like, everybody just started obviously knowing me as that name.
Also, did you have a love for science? Is that
Yeah.
Okay.
I feel like I always just thought biology was the easiest, like, because it's just, human anatomy, photosynthesis. It's just how things, are made, or how living things. It's just, I feel like it was one of the ones that was just easy to remember. You know what I mean? Especially biology, it's just organs, it's bones, as long as you just keep reading about it. And then when it came to the chemistry aspect, though, I was like, please, please, not for me. But I used to do biology and stuff like that. I think, I was a big fan of it. But I feel like I was more of an English. I always just loved English. When I wanted to go to university, when we're filling out all the things that we want to do, I was like, oh, I want to do just anything with literature, journalism, anything to do with English. And my dad was like, there's no money inside that one, no. So you have to go and look for the ones that have money. And then I'm like, obviously, science, I like science too. And then it's like there's biopharmaceutical courses with bioscience. And then it was a thing where it's like, got to do what old man says. So did the science right. But to be honest, he wasn't lying. Because obviously when I actually started working, and,
so this is after university?
After university, and I actually started working. I got my, first job. And, it was like I started off as not an intern, but there's a different word for it, but I guess it's kind of the same, whatever. So I started off as that, and then so quickly, I built my way up to being a manager within 2 years.
Okay.
Do you know what I mean? And there's people older than me that were there. There's people that were there.
And you were doing what there?
I was doing microbiology.
Okay.
So I had my own team. We had rotas. There's 2 teams, A and B. I managed maybe 15 people. So we worked 4 days on, 4 days off, and we were doing tests for microorganisms in food, water. Even when COVID was happening, we were a big part in just checking all this stuff and
Look at that.
Yeah.
Microbiologist.
Well, yeah, he wasn't lying though, because they were paying pretty well. They were paying pretty well, and at that point you start to forget. It's not like I forgot the things that I like, but you get so honed in because this is my job, and there's times where I actually had more time to do things.
Yes.
But now at this point, it's like I have to do all this managing stuff. I have to train people. I have to do this. So it's like all this literature stuff and all these poetries and all these things that I used to always do. Where's the time?
Right, because you're focused on work.
Yeah.
Yes. So would you say before you went into Love Island that you were really happy with who you were, the man that you had become?
Yeah. I feel like before I went in, I definitely felt proud of where I was. I felt proud of where I've reached, but something inside me just always felt like maybe there's more. And I remember, obviously, COVID is settling down, and I think Love Island must have come around this period, and I was on my 4 days off at this time, and I went to one of my best friend's house, and we were just chilling. We were just, Drake and Joshing like we do, because he's the guy that I make all my silly decisions with. Because if I go down, you go down, and we're good. And we're good with that.
Everybody's a friend like that.
We're good with that. So.
And I'm sorry. And who's the friend?
My friend's name is Wally.
Okay.
Wally. Shout out Wally if you ever see this. But yeah, but I was in Wally's house, and he must have told me that one of our boys had applied to Ting, and I was like, applied to Love Island. I was like, should I just I'm chilling right now? Should I just do for the crack and just see just do for the crack? I didn't even. It was a trigger that went in my head where I was just you hesitate and you procrastinate, but I was like, just do it, bro. And I went downstairs, did that whole recording of this is
on the spot.
On the spot, I went downstairs. He was still working because he was working. I was just chilling with him. I went downstairs, did the recording thing, this is wherever I feel like I should be here, blah, blah, blah. And then I posted it, and I remember I sent it to them, and then I remember maybe 2 weeks I was just working, doing my thing, and I get a call, and it's hello, is this Dami? And I was like, yeah, who's this? Obviously, I'm still in my latex gloves, bro, trying to do all this. I was like, yeah, who's this? She's like, I'm just calling from Love Island. You sent to this thing. I said, hold up.
Take the gloves off.
Hold up. Let me just go outside for a second, take the back room, and then she's just talking to me, saying that, they really enjoyed my thing, and then, just tell me more about yourself. And I'm telling them more about myself. And then before I know, it's I'm on to the next one. And then, dressing up for the interview. Then they're flying me to the UK. And then I'm on to the next one. But they always say, you're not in till you get in.
And so we've had a few Love Islanders, actually several.
Okay.
Like Maura Higgins, we had Lucinda Strafford, we had, oh my God, we've had, this is terrible because Megan Barton Hansen, we've had Shakira Khan, so we've had several. all of them have said that a key reason for going on Love Island was to build brand. Matter of fact, some of them said love was never a part of the equation. What's your take?
I'm not gonna lie to you, and like people might say I'm lying, but I'm not. I just wanted to do it for the crack. I just wanted to do it just to have fun and talk to girls. So when the day actually happened and I walked in and they were all just there, I just said, wait, what? I'm actually here now.
Right.
And I know everybody's watching me. Shit. Do you know what I mean? I'm thinking in my head, oh shit, now I actually have to have risk. Because I'm just playing around, just thinking like, oh yeah, this is my personality. I'm just being personal, but I'm just showing them who I really am.
Right.
And the producers and all them are enjoying me. So this is like why they keep bringing me forward. But at this stage in time, it's like, I'm not really, like I've seen like people get, careers off the back of it.
So you're thinking it's just for the crack, it's just jokes, it's not anything brand building wise. But was any part of that you wanted to enter a relationship? You wanted to find love?
I guess I didn't really think I'd even find love. I just thought I'd just go on and just like, speak to people and talk to people. And at that point, I guess like sometimes when I watched the show as well, it never really seemed like, when there's white girls, it never really seemed like maybe that, black guys were their type or they would be the main focus. So in my head, it's like, I'm thinking if there's no black girls who like are my first, type or whatever, if they're not there, like how is this gonna work? Obviously I've dated black and white girls because I've grew up in Ireland as well. So it's not like I'm not open to it or whatever it is, but you just have that little doubt of when you've seen other like, people go on the show and it doesn't really seem like they work out because there's no one that wants them because maybe that's just not their, type.
Right. And I think prior to your series, so yours is Series 8.
Yeah, Series 8, yeah.
So prior to Series 8, the coupling was always decided by the contestants.
Yeah, the contestants, yeah.
Right. And historically, what the commentary always was there was a pattern that if you were black, you were left to the end. So was that a thought when you went in, and then were you shocked at how the coupling was set up?
Yeah. I remember going into the show thinking that, when I get in, everyone's going to have to step forward for, because that's the way they did it. It was like, step forward if you want so-and-so. And I remember I was the first person to come in and seeing all these beautiful girls. And then I'm just like, okay, there's 2 black girls here. Okay, I can work with this. This is great. I know I'm going to step forward anyway, so this is fantastic. There was like some white girls I was attracted to as well. And I was like, so it doesn't matter, but I will step forward. And then I remember, so the public are actually going to choose. And I said, oh, God. Really? Always got to put a challenge in front of bro,
But you didn't like that.
No, I didn't mind. You leave it. At first, it was just like, because I prepared my mind so much that I would step forward. Do you know what I mean?
Gotcha.
Because I built all the confidence now to step forward, even if no one steps forward for you. Do you know what I mean? And this is on national TV.
Yes.
So then I'm like, okay, yeah, this is the public choose for me, which is an easier route. So then no one gets, embarrassed or anything like that. And then, the public chose, and I guess they chose who they chose for me first, and it was fine for the most part.
Okay.
Until
we
did the switcheroo.
Yes. All right. So let's break this down. Right. So you go in. Truly, who caught your eye initially?
I feel like when I went in, it was definitely my ex, Indiyah.
Okay.
Initially, because she had the what's it called, the piercing hair.
Yes.
And she looked like her hair was funky, and she just looked like she was there's personality here already. Because I came with double nose rings, so I was like,
this is a bit of me.
Yeah. Okay. And then obviously, I think the other girls probably Amber and then Paige but like, it was
Indiyah who caught your eye.
It was Indiyah to caught my eye first.
But the public had chosen Amber.
Yeah, they did.
Right,
yeah.
for you to couple up with. All right. So once something like that happens, but someone else has caught your eye, how do you navigate that? And then also, I mean, I've been doing reality TV forever. I know production is in there trying to work their situation.
With their little webs and suggestions. Are you sure this is what you want to do, bro? Like, that's when I knew, okay, this is production driven. Okay, we gonna make some TV then.
Yes. And how did you find the TV aspect? Because a lot of people find that difficult.
The TV aspect?
The fact that if there was no TV, if you were literally a bunch of people in a villa, you could just walk up, talk to anybody you want to. But because it's a TV show, that you have to have it structured in a way that drives entertainment.
I feel like for me, subconsciously, you kind of notice these things that they put in place because, like, say, for instance, I want to go talk to someone, like, I want to go speak to her. I'll be on my way to speak to her, and suddenly I'm getting, oh, no, Dami, come over here. And I was like, wait, what? It's because then it's like, then they put someone else with this person that I wanted to speak to, or, you know what I mean? Or I'm having a conversation that I feel like is going really well with someone, but then obviously this person has now been sent over here to, like, talk to this person. I'm just like, okay, guys, you know, but like, I feel like that was the frustrating part about it because it's like, I want to be able to speak to people. I thought when I'm coming here, I'm going to have like free will to actually just speak to the people that I want to speak to and build on it. And I get like, yeah, give everyone a chance. But going back and looking back at the show, because I did watch it to be honest. And I remember looking back and I remember some of the first conversations like Indiyah and I had, they weren't even there.
Oh, really?
Do you know what I mean? So it's like, these are moments where like, I feel like these were building blocks for us as well that would have been like quiet, but you would have noticed that, oh, these guys actually get along. Yes. And I'm seeing that you're putting the clip with her and Davide, who inherently just not even attracted to her anyway. And it's like, what's the point of, you know, this? Do you get what I mean? It's almost like it becomes a little game.
Yes.
At a certain point.
But so on this, I think what's so hard, and this is a challenge that I think every reality dating show has, is to your point is, a lot of people are themselves, but a puffed up version, an exaggerated version of themselves. And then some people are just outright faking and fraudulent with who they're representing to be. So how do you form a relationship with romantically or even platonically with people when you're each other's representatives and not each other? You know what I mean? Like, so even in that first conversation with Indiyah, how do you know, like, you're getting to know her versus representation of her?
That's the thing. I feel like you don't, because like when you come out the villa, like I feel like that's when, like, the person that you did speak to, those parts of them are still there, but it's not really the full representative of that person.
Okay.
You know what I mean? And I feel like you figure it out. You actually find out about it when you come out, because like Indiyah is like soft-spoken, quiet, you know, gentle. But then on the outside, she's feisty, she's loud, she can speak up, she does this. And it's like, obviously on the show, I get it. As a black woman as well, you might have to keep yourself at a certain, you know, wavelength to appease to, you know, so which I fully understand and I get it. That's why, but most of the time as well, like, she just didn't actually care too much. She was just living in a bubble, like a peaceful bubble, as she would always say. Yeah. So, you know, you notice they're doing things, or they'd be whispering, or they'd be like saying this and that, and it's like they're finding out intel, or they're this, and it's like now you're being performative, and we can tell. But not calling out no names, because, you know, it's a long time ago.
Right.
But, and I get it. Everyone came in for, you know, different reasons. So, and I guess like if you're there to build your own, like, whatever it is, you're gonna do the things that you feel like you need to do to get that.
Yeah, for sure. Can we talk about Casa more? Because I think that's when your star power, if you will, and Indiyah's star power and your relationship went to another level.
Yeah.
So do you remember that? And did you, and also as you're going into that, because you don't know what the audience is thinking. So what were you thinking the audience was thinking?
I feel like before going into that and like looking back at it now, because obviously I was in the villa, Indiyah and I weren't that intense yet, and we'd only like kissed, like, you know, a couple of times. I don't even think we shared a bed yet, or I can't even remember. I don't think we had shared a bed or anything yet. And it was a thing where it's like, I feel like on the outside, I feel like parasocially, people are looking at something else and it's more intense for them than it is for us. And we'd have these conversations. I remember me, Jax, Paige, and Indiyah, we'd have this conversation about, like, we feel like Casa Amor's coming up because we've reached this, because we all know, like, us 4 weeks, Casa Amor has to be coming up. So we're all having conversations, and we're talking about, like, oh yeah, we're all gonna be open-minded, like, we're all still gonna explore and, you know, talk to people or whatever.
Okay.
But obviously the audience don't see these conversations.
Right.
So for us, we already like have spoken, and we know like that, like what we're gonna, like, you know, be open-minded to do or whatever. So then Casa Amor happens, and I feel like outside world looking in, it's like I'm the only one that's now stepped out of this relationship that's not even a relationship because we've probably only kissed 3 times.
Right.
Do you know what I mean?
Right.
But outside world looking in, they're thinking, oh, nah, this guy's he's a villain. He's just like going crazy and he's just trying to get with all the girls. But it's like I'm just doing things that like are familiar to me when I'm actually dating someone and like I'm trying to get to know someone. And in that short space of time, it was like, you know what, this is a connection that I feel like I could build on. And I feel like Indiyah was just like me. So I feel like she's gonna obviously talk to people as well. There could be black boys there. I was thinking in my head, there could be a boy from South London that, you know what I mean, that she relates to. So in my head, I'm like thinking like, I don't know what's going on. And it's such a short space of time to like, you know, say, okay, this is like I'm locked off because I didn't come on this show to pretend to be someone I'm not or to like sacrifice my whole experience because of what like the audience might, you know, think or want when you're not even in the show. Do you know what I mean? So when this whole situation happened, and I don't know, I got like an inkling, that sis was coming back with something anyway. So I was like, you know what? Let's burn the whole place down. Let's have some fun. And I remember I went to have a meeting with I think probably one of the producers or whatever, and then I was just like, oh. I remember I went back down because I had to like do my speech of like who I want to pick back, and I was like thinking, bro, we gotta go crazy over here. We're gonna at the end of it, you gotta say summer's not over. You gotta we gotta.
So this really was your line.
Yeah, this is really my line, bro. Okay. I was like, no, we gotta pump it up because if the world is obviously like, because I got told like obviously when I was like in Casa, I remember I think obviously there was the 2 girls, the China and Summer, and I think obviously I was getting to know the both of them more so. And I remember obviously I think I kissed Summer, but then I wanted to kiss China as well because I just wanted to. I'm a urinary, I'm a lipster. I just wanted to see like if the sparks would fly. And I remember I think I was about to do China, and then they came over to me like, "Oh, Dami, chill out, man. You're doing too much." And I said, "Oh, okay, fair enough, cool. Since you obviously all feel that way, you know." You gotta go hard or go home, bro.
Oh, really? Because a lot of people would pull back.
No,
if someone just said you're doing too much, I think most people would pull back.
Nah, I just felt like I was thinking in my head, bro. Everybody's probably against me right now, so you know what I mean. Let's just make good TV. Let's make good TV. Gotcha. And I like in my line, the line might sound cringy now, like you know people watching it, but in that space, being in that, it's like you know what. Let's go, guys. You know what I mean? And then obviously, I think Sis came in and she obviously had someone by her arm. I remember she was just talking about like, oh, I see his true colors now. And mind you, I don't know what she's done, but I just know she's come back with someone. Yes. I'm restraining myself and be like, are you colorblind? Because you're here too with someone else. Because we had this thing where it's like we're both heartbreakers. And we had that thing and it was almost like an alley-oop to a dunks type of situation. And it was like, wow, well done, girl.
Yes.
Well
so you had respect. You had more respect for her after that.
Yeah, like I never stopped liking her when she left, and even when she came back, it's a situation where it's like, obviously it's awkward to see, but I wasn't upset. I wasn't hurt about it, even though people said, oh, I was so angry, whatever. I wasn't upset because at the end of the day, I'm a fair person, and I'm like a person that's like maybe they actually get on, and at the end of the day, it doesn't mean our story is over. It just means like we've got to expand and build on to if we're supposed to be together.
Right. That's a great window to emotionally how you were feeling, because at night I'm sure there's lots of ideas coming in your mind, because you said the producers were saying you were doing too much. You see Indiyah with someone else, right? You now want to be with her. You're coupled off with someone else.
Yeah.
So walk us through what you were feeling at night.
I was feeling anxious. I was feeling like, did I just lose something that I actually really wanted? I was feeling like, how do I even like approach the situation? You know what I mean? I'm just thinking about what steps do I take to like kind of show her and reintroduce that like, this is actually what I want and it's you. And then I remember there would be sometimes like I'll try to go talk to her and the producers do what the producers do again, be like, no, not today, give it. I'm like, why?
What was something that you did that was a loophole or like a sneaky way to try to get to her?
You'd be doing like, when you're not supposed to like talk after like, when you're going to bed, and obviously we didn't share a bed and stuff, but I remember like I'd speak to her sometimes through the day, or like we'd like be passing and like try and do little touches and just try to be like, oh, do you know what I mean? Just remember I'm still here, I'm still here kind of thing. And we'd have like little conversations that would like kind of just like amplify like, oh, what I'm feeling and whatever she's feeling. And then I think there was a point where it's like, this one was like so viral where I think I went to go sleep outside with Andrew, and then she must have followed me, and there was like a whole romantic thing of us just, running to each other. And that's when I knew, it's game over.
Gotcha.
This
You knew it.
Yeah,
You knew it was something real.
Yeah, it's mine now.
Yes. Can anyone tell me why roaming fees are always so expensive? I feel like every time I get back from traveling overseas, I'm hit with a jaw-dropping phone bill. It's actually why I'm excited to try our new partner, Saily, an eSIM app that gives you a safe and secure data connection anytime you travel, and most importantly, without any expensive roaming charges. Now, quite a few of my team used Saily during our last trip to LA, and all accounts were that it was reliable and easy to set up. Saily is available in over 200 destinations, and it comes with built-in security features like web protection and ad blockers. The stuff you don't typically think about, but actually, when you're traveling, is really important to keep your data protected. But the part that really pulls me in is that I can change my online location to the UK. So even if I'm somewhere else, any location-blocked content is still accessible. To give it a try, download Saily from the App Store or scan the QR code on the screen. And if you want 15% off your first purchase, make sure you use my code WNTT at checkout. Details are in the episode description. When you think back at that experience, what were you most surprised did not make the edit?
I feel like you come on and you hear all this whirlwind of news of like, oh, I'm this person and I'm villainized now, and it's like, okay. Where do I even start from? Because how do I even explain myself? Because what you have is these edits that you've seen, but yet that's not even me for real.
Right.
Right.
So you feel as if you were painted as a villain.
Yeah, after the whole situation, I was painted as a villain that, did something and I'm angry that, she did it back. You know what I mean? Yeah.
Yeah.
But it wasn't something that upset me in the beginning, because obviously that was the the lore of Love Island. This happens. I've watched it from previous seasons. I make up my own mind about people, but I don't hold them to that, because at the end of the day, I know it's a TV show.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Right.
But then parasocially, people are so invested and they spin on stories themselves and they make stuff up, and it still happens to this day.
Yes. Even to get into parasocial relationships is because I love how you're using the term, because I feel like that's exactly what makes these shows so popular.
Yeah.
Is that it's not just a passive viewing, it's that the people who watch, a lot of the people who watch these shows form relationships. And typically what I see is that they see themselves in one or two of the contributors. So if they feel as if you have done a contributor wrong and they have aligned themselves or formed a bond with that contributor, they feel like you've now done them wrong.
Yeah.
And you definitely become the villain.
Yeah. No, you're right. You're right. You said it all.
Yeah. In the villa, do you believe you fell in love with Indiyah there?
I feel like at first, I said I did. I think I did, but then I feel like when I got outside is when I really, really fell in love, with her, because dad loved her, mom loved her, and it's we're from two different cultures, but we made it work, and it's a lot of things you just gravitate towards each other, and you think the same way, or we're building this thing together, and it's just it was fun,
Yeah, and I think also the fact that you met on a show that, historically not a lot of couples come out of.
Yeah.
But you then had to experience a lot of the same things.
Yeah.
But even if we can talk about you all coming third, because that in itself was his story.
Yeah.
That was major. So going into that final, when you knew that you all were a final couple, right? How did that feel? Because what I'm picking up from you is you really didn't care much about what was happening outside of the show, because you had found someone who you were genuinely interested in.
Yeah. I feel like coming into the finals and knowing I was there from the beginning and I was the first guy there, to reaching that, it's even though we were third, it's it just further amplified the fact that I'm a born winner. Because even through all the transgressions and all the early dumpings and everything else, is I still fought my way to get to where we are here. And us coming third was historical. I remember the whole uproar, like no black couple has ever gotten that far, and it was like Dak, Ekinsu and Davide, we always knew they were gonna win. They had my vote too, to be honest, bro. They were making some good TV for me while I was in there, bro. I was like, oh my God, there ain't no way we're beating them. Like, they were funny. So it was like so it didn't even bother me that oh yeah, it was forced or whatever. It was just like the fact that we were actually there with all our friends, and we've all done this journey together, and it was just like a moment of wow, because you came out with aside from a girlfriend, came out with real life long friends.
Yes.
So it was it was an experience. It's and you know me, I love friendship.
Yes.
So it's a thing for me. It's I've done a new experience now, and now I even have more friends. I have new friends. So it's
just a win.
Just a win, bro. It was good.
Just a win.
But
it was close between second and third. Very close.
Yeah, close enough. Close enough. If only Ireland could vote.
Yeah.
If only Ireland could vote, man.
I didn't realize
Ireland can't vote, and they all watch it as well. So it's a whole big thing where it's just let the Irish vote too. You know what I mean? Because I think the app doesn't work because it's on the UK Apple software, whatever.
Yeah.
So it doesn't work in Ireland, so they can't even vote. Yeah, that's
Definitely.
the thing. That's what I'm saying.
You could have won,
bro.
if Ireland could vote.
Bro, they were behind me, man.
Oh my! I didn't realize that. That's wild. Okay. Okay, we need to change that.
Bro, yeah, you need to do something about that,
all right,
man.
Done.
Let's use our platforms and change that, bro.
Let's change that right now. Right now. So, but still, third is not bad.
It's not bad, no.
When you get out of the villa, when do you first... When do you and Indiyah, when do you feel like you two become an official couple?
I feel like probably when we moved into our house, because we used to stay my grandma's, and then sometimes we stay in her mom's, and then when we first got our first apartment, that's when it felt because I've never really lived with a girlfriend, and actually we're paying rent together for a spot, you know what I mean? And we're building on this spot and this, decorating and buying TVs, you know what I mean, moving in. So I feel like that's when it's we're really grounded that, oh yeah, we're really official.
Yes. I would imagine that there was a lot of pressure immediately to then sustain that, because so many couples break up so quickly. Did you feel any of that?
You know what? There was a lot of pressure in the sense of I would be making TikToks and, you're trying to build your platform. You're trying to I'm just having fun with it because this is my first time coming into this trajectory of, fame, and everyone knows who you are. And it's I'd want to collab with people or friends, but, parasocially, they'll be looking why is he with everybody else but Indiyah? Do you know what I mean? Mind you, we speak all the time. We're together all the time. And she's doing meetings. She's about to start building this career of hers, and she's doing all these things. But I'm outgoing. I'm meeting up with, friends that we have in there. I'm making, content and TikToks, but everybody has something to say. And it's to continue this whole villain narrative, he doesn't even care about her, or he's embarrassing her, or she's a stronger woman than me. And it's when do I get to actually live, guys? Because it's relationship-wise, we're good. But then I feel seeing all these things, I feel there was a point maybe start getting to her and, start affecting what she's thinking. And in her head, she's actually starting to think, is there something that she's missing here as well with, all these little collabs that you're doing, these, Paige is one of our friends that I would do, and she was starting, okay, maybe there's something she's missing. Or I'd go to Ireland and there would be an Irish, influencer as well. We're all at the same network. And it's just right. People seeing, worlds collide, but it didn't break us. It's just things obviously we'd speak about, and then, there'll be boundaries put in place, or you'd be take a step back from doing this, or, stop doing stuff with, just girls, just so the noise would just stop.
I
see. You know what I mean?
I see it. Can I even ask too, is when you came out, right? Because you said something really interesting to me at the beginning of going into Love Island is that you were just doing it as a joke.
Yeah.
Right. So it wasn't a brand build for you, right? Do you think Indiyah, was she doing it as a brand build? And I'm not trying to disparage her in that, but I guess where I'm going is that because I've talked to a lot of influencers, and those who use television platforms, what they'll do is that they'll set up their everything, their socials, they'll get agents, they'll set it up so that when they come out of the television project, they can immediately start using that, leveraging that. And I'm wondering, was that her desire? Because then if so, because I feel like when she got out, she really catapulted. Her popularity shot up quickly.
Yeah, I feel like hers was kind of like, she came in, I don't know the reason, I can't speak for her, but I do feel like when she came out though, it was a fresh start for her too. There was nothing put in place and everything, like she was hot cake. Everybody wanted, the girl that said made the best heartbreaker win, So it was like hot cake, she's pretty, and like people just wanted her in it. It's like she was like the star it girl. So I feel like everything just like happened for her, like, just like naturally,
Okay. So her career is taking off.
Mm-hmm.
Do you feel that her career is moving faster than yours?
Not necessarily, actually. I feel like in that space, I actually wasn't even thinking about what was happening because I was having meetings with management and, talking about different things, and I was getting deals. I was seeing like money that I didn't see, like I could never see in one instant at first. I'm like, I'm doing good. So I wasn't really like focused on, obviously I'm seeing like the big like, PLT or whatever looking for her, and that's a big conglomerate, yes. And like, but on my side, it's like Boohoo are looking for me too, and they're trying to pay, but I'm saying no because obviously I didn't want to do fast fashion. I wanted to, because I don't wear that stuff anyway. And it's like, if I am going to brand build and stuff, that's not the way I can go. And it's not as easy for guys to navigate outside of that when they do it.
Yes.
So like girls can do PLT and do whatever and still manage to do this. But if I did that, it's like I become boxed in. Now I'm just another one of, the guys. And they were paying big, like they were paying more money that I probably I've seen like once for like, a year contract. Really? And I'll keep saying no. And then they'll keep like asking me, no, come on, are you sure we'll up it? But I'll still stand in my ground that, it's not for me.
Can you share, how much were they offering?
I think they were offering like at first, it was like maybe near like 200K.
Wow.
And it was just like.
For 1 year?
Yeah, for 1 year. And it was like, then they come back and they say, oh, we can even get you to do your own like collab and it would just be you and we'll even add more. And I was still just saying, no, it's not for me. And I don't want to be boxed in. And I don't want to have like a hard time trying to like, I do this because of the money, and then suddenly now when I'm trying to like navigate these brands that I actually do want to work with don't want to work with me. I feel like all the things I did at that early on really worked out for me because I would get bigger jobs later down the line. Do you know what I mean? And they will all add up to even way more than that.
Right.
So do you know what I'm saying? So it's like, yeah, you offered me 200K, but by the end of the year finish, I made way more than that. And I feel like the first year I probably made like maybe like 550, 600. So it's like,
wait, hold on, Dami.
Yeah, so it's like, it's good. There's a lot of money though, and bro. And the thing
hold on, wait. Cheers on that, man. Cheers on that. That man, congratulations for that.
Thank you.
Yeah, I like that. I really do, because I'm assuming that was a lot more than you were being paid as a microbiologist.
Oh yeah, bro. Bro, my dad was so happy now, bro. It was shopping time, It was shopping time. It was shopping time. Like I remember the first time I got like my paycheck. I think my best friend wanted to buy a car. I sent him at least half of the money for the car that he wanted. Right. Bro, just send the money left and right. Who wants? Because like these are the people that I've come up with. Yes. And now I'm here in this space.
Is this your best friend?
Yeah, best friend Wally.
Wally, who you were at the house when you decided? Yeah.
I was like, it was like one of my girl's birthdays. I was like, let's go Dior, man. What do you want? Because it's like, now you guys, when we were like, you guys grew with me. So it's like, I have like anything you ever need from me.
Wow.
I got you. So, and then obviously my family as well. Just have to take care of them first.
Yeah.
So it's always just being that way.
Yeah.
And then blowing a lot of cash on presents and birthday gifts and stuff like this. And
which I love. Can we get into you and Indiyah? As much as you want to go. I would love to know, what did you love about her?
I feel like I loved her like feistiness. Like she was her own character and she was, able to speak. Like she just spoke up for whatever it is that she wanted to speak up for. And she wasn't shy about if she didn't want to do something kind of thing. Do you know what I mean? And I like that, like she just stood on her own ground.
Yes.
So.
Yes. Now, with Indiyah as well, I've noticed, and if I could just pick up on this, is that in our conversation so far, You've been very calm and cool.
Yeah.
But every time we touch on Indiyah is where I see nervous.
It's not even nervous. It's just like, it's a situation. Obviously, you know, we're not together anymore. And it's like, yeah, it's just, we're not together anymore. It's like, just, it's an uncomfortable situation because obviously I've never been in this like type of situation before. And now I have been. And it's just the whole like, if you want to get into it, just to get into it, it's like, you know, we were in a good place. Like we were good. We were still together. And, you know, there's a lot of boundaries in place that mostly were set by her. And obviously,
Which were what? What were some of these
just
boundaries?
like in terms of like me, female friendships, you know, like anything around girls or just like, you know, coming back home late and just making sure you call in or, you know, just all these like things that like just set by her, like things we would say we do together first. And if you're going to do with someone else, you'd say it or you'd ask or whatever, but they'd all be by her, but then majority of them would be broken by her, you know? And then I feel like in this situation as well that has happened, it was kind of shocking, obviously.
So you were together for 4 years?
Almost 4 years. Like
Almost
we're coming 4 years, yeah.
Okay, so over the 4 years, or over the 3 years and change that you and Indiyah were together, you had moved in together, all right, so you're living together. Were you already you were committed to each other?
Yeah, committed to each other for so long. We did so many anniversaries, so many holidays, we did everything together, you know?
Were you talking about marriage?
Yeah, we talked about marriage. It's a thing like in our household, like we both know our cultural differences and the cultural like humor that we can kind of share beside each other. Obviously she's Jamaican, I'm Nigerian, and you know what they say about Nigerians, 419, they all cheat. Like we made these type of jokes. And I remember one time I went on this radio show and I made the joke about like, oh, like we can skip the ring, you know what I mean? Because we can have babies, because obviously like, you know, blah, blah, which I get, like it's a sensitive joke outside of like, you know, our household and the things that we're comfortable with.
Right.
And, you know, I apologize for that. But it's just like dark humor. And, you know, a lot of the things that I do end up saying online that get me in trouble is from a place of like just humor and jokes. And, you know.
But I see though that what could have happened is that you take all of those, it then underscores that villain.
Yeah, and it all just keeps on like, you know, bringing this whole villain narrative. And I feel like that's what it's been pitted against me for, you know, this situation that's happened. Because there's a difference between like, you know, the reality of how people are and then the image, right? And I feel like the reality of me is I'm carefree, I share everything. I want to be open with the world. If you're a fan of me or you like me, I want to give you me. Do you know what I mean? There's no reason for me to like hide. But then I guess on the other side, on her side, because she would go out and she'd have as much fun as I'm having. But she just won't post it. And maybe the ones that she's posting is like she's just watching TV in the living room. So it's always like she's always at home, but I'm always outside.
Right. So you feel as if people were already accusing you. You saw it. People,
they've been accusing me.
cheating.
I'm gay. They attack my masculinity just from how I dress, from like me being expressive with like, you know, my fashion. I can get my nails done. I can put on makeup. Just like all these little things they'll use to like, you know, paint this picture of me as a person that isn't even me. But at the end of the day, it's like, I don't care about being expressive. I want to be this way. I want to live my truth. I want to be myself. Do you know what I mean? And I feel like all these things have been, you know, used now against me, especially in this situation. And it's a thing where it's like, it's unfair, but at the same time, it's like, it's the aim of the game that I got into. Do you know what I mean? So I get it, but it's unfair.
It's entirely unfair. And I want to unpack all of those because I think it's important for us to get your opinion on each of those. But something that you also mentioned that we have to talk about is you talked about there's a cultural difference between you and Indiyah, right? So you are Nigerian heritage, Indiyah Jamaican heritage. How did that cultural difference show up for good or bad in your relationship?
I feel like more or less, I feel like we come from different types of like households, where mine is so traditional, it's full of like, you know, you have to greet, it's very respectful. And I guess like in her household, like lovely people, but then I would sense the difference in like, I don't know how to say it, like without, because I'm not trying to sound rude or anything like that. But there is a definite difference in how she speaks to her mom is not how I speak to my mom. Do you know what I mean? I'd have to put auntie in front of her mom's name. Do you know what I mean? Stuff like this, like different things. But she'd obviously do it as well because I'll teach her the difference in the culture. Whereas I feel like mine's very traditional, but then hers is a bit more free.
Right.
Do you get what I mean?
So I tell you what, I mean, so being from, being Jamaican,
Yeah.
what I've noticed as a big difference, so it was interesting, most of my best friends growing up were either Jamaican or Nigerian, right? And at the end of the day, we're all Jamaicans are basically from Nigeria anyway.
Yeah. I tried to say that one time, bro. They were like, no, I'm not. No, I'm not.
If you trace it back,
yeah, that's what I was trying to say. Yeah, Ghana or Nigeria, man. I've been trying to say that.
It's pretty much.
Yeah.
Right? We are all family.
Yeah.
All family. And that's something that I think we also need to remember is that we are all family. And what society tries to do is divide not only us, but divide everybody.
Yeah.
Because that's how you disempower people. But one thing I noticed is that I feel like most Nigerian households that I know of are very patrifocal, right?
Mm-hmm.
Most of the family revolves around the male patriarch, right? So the father figure, making the primary decisions, etc. In every Jamaican household that I've been close to, including mine, it's matrifocal.
Yeah, that's what.
And revolves around the mother.
The mother, yes,
yes.
My
grandma was like she was it.
I actually get that. I actually agree with you. Yeah,
she was it. And so when I've seen Nigerian and Jamaican marriages, I've seen that sometimes is a friction point, right? Did that show up at all? Is that what you're getting to as well, or not necessarily?
I don't feel like it showed up, but I do feel like there's in some cases where it felt like, maybe I felt like an outsider,
with her family.
Yeah, with our family, it's like, yeah, I fit in, I accept, but then I feel like there is a certain level of things they probably think of me because of the parasocials are putting online as well, and it just became like maybe I'm not the same as you guys or something, and I felt like that sometimes. And I feel like it kind of starts showing up like towards the end. You know what I mean? I feel like it starts showing up there because I just didn't feel comfortable anymore.
So you think it was more so what was being said about
what was
you?
being said about me and just how it felt like I was now being treated, and it's just different. And I guess maybe it's the jokes, it's the stuff that the internet are putting against me. I think I remember I wore like an outfit to the Mobos or something, and I did my hair back, and I had like earrings, and then, the internet wanted to diss me about whatever fashion is that I did. I thought I ate. I still think I ate. It doesn't even affect me, but things like that. If the internet's saying something bad, then I feel like they'd start believing what the internet's saying, and then
her and her family.
Yeah. Not her. I feel like she'd understand me because obviously, but maybe her family just like, oh, maybe because maybe I'm zesty, or maybe I'm actually, what I mean, all these little things, and it's like I could gauge this and I could see it, and it's like,
Right. So you feel like, not to put words in because, but I don't know if you felt this way. You feel like maybe her family didn't feel as if you were masculine.
Yeah. I think so simple as that. Probably. Okay. I think maybe eventually I think it probably came to a point where it was like that.
So then, Dami, help me understand what happened, because just so everyone, if you're comfortable with me saying what happened.
Yeah. I mean, the whole world knows.
Yeah. This is true. So for the 5 people who don't know, I want to give just a little bit of the detail. Is that so? In July 2025, you and Indiyah had celebrated your 3-year anniversary.
Yeah.
Okay, so you're 3 years into your anniversary. Then December 3rd, 2025, Indiyah was spotted kissing inside UK star Marlon Garcia. And this was at the Series 3 wrap party for Inside, which is a Netflix reality competition show by the Sidemen. So this happens on December 3rd.
Mm-hmm.
When did you find out?
I probably found out probably on December 5th. And it was just because of just a chain of events of things just didn't make sense. And I'm too clued in not to, figure stuff out, especially because I've been with you for so long. And I think eventually she obviously came forward and, said this had been what happened. And for me, I had to process it. And I'm like, I'm processing it privately. Like, no one knows this is happening. So it was a thing for me, like, it was just like a situation of like, stories just wasn't adding up. And just to keep it short, it just wasn't adding up. And then eventually she came forward to tell me. And then we just had to like, obviously I said, I can't be in this relationship. But at the same time, I know, we have this public relationship. I think it became to a point where it's like, there's times where it was like, she'd be on Snap or something and she'd like say something about her her mental health right now is, in a bad place. And I would be trying to process this, but in my way, I needed to get out of the space that we lived in because we still had to live together.
Oh, that's right. You're still living together.
Yeah, we still live.
So, all right. So damn. All right. I'm
This
is complicated.
Yeah, it's very complicated.
But you said already before you were clued in that things didn't feel right in December.
No, things didn't feel right in the sense of that night that she went out and when she came back. It was like, you have this thing of like, oh, if you go out, you just text and you say, oh, what you're doing, but you're gone now for the whole night, you've not said anything. And it's like, that doesn't make sense, because you would. I was with you in the morning. You know what I mean? We literally came back with you in the morning. So it's like, we've helped you put your outfit on. We've helped done all this stuff. So then you've gone out and then come back. Your story don't make sense when I'm asking, like, where you be? Like,
so you were at home.
Yeah.
And then what time did she come back?
Probably like, I don't even know, because I had to work that day, so I had to even leave the house. So I'm not actually sure what time she came back. But
sometime in the morning?
Nah, probably like afternoonish or something, yeah.
Afternoon?
Yeah.
She was...
Yeah, I think she probably woke up at like 1 p.m. or something, and that was like when I got the text, and she just like crashed out and she was blah, blah, blah.
So she was gone. You wake up, you leave to go to work. She's still not back home. So at this point, you feel, all right, something's up.
Yeah, it's not even like a straightway thing, oh, something has happened. It's more of like, yeah, things happen. I mean, you can go out, get drunk, and, you just crash out. You know what I mean? I understand that. Like, I understand how to have fun. So it's okay, I get that.
All right, so can I play devil's advocate?
Yeah, play devil's advocate.
Because I think you might be giving yourself a little bit too much grace on this one. All right, so, I mean, I've been married for 20-something years, right? But if I'm 3 to 4 years into a committed relationship where I live with someone, we have established boundaries.
Yes.
And my partner goes out and she doesn't come home. And the next morning, I mean, I'm not even waiting to the next morning.
I didn't wait till the next morning. Don't get me misconstrued. Okay. I was even up like saying everything good, because I'm checking for your well-being and seeing how you are. Okay. Do you know what I mean? So I've texted. It's not like I've just gone to sleep and forgot like, oh, my whole girlfriend exists. I'm still looking out for her well-being, just trying to check where she's at, if she's good. Do you know what I mean? But getting no response, getting none of this. So it's like, then the first response is at 1 p.m. the next day. I'm like, whatever. But just to like,
okay,
to move on from that, is just like when everything happened, it's like, I remember it was her birthday, her birthday as well, and when she put up the whole mental health thing on Snap, I remember people on Snap, because I'm trying to process this, people are hitting me up saying, how are you out when your girlfriend is at home, process, and I'm like, bro, you don't even know what I'm going through here.
Right.
I'm keeping everything cool. There's no sense of hate for me for her. Like, at the end of the day, like, you're someone I've been with for so long that, like, I'm still able to be in this capacity with you, but I do need to like have some level of self-respect to like for myself as well, to be like, you know what, this isn't what I want anymore. I can't like be here or do this, because at the end of the day, it's just like I'm an honest person,
right? And
I always want just people to always be honest. You know what I mean? And I feel like when trust has been broken like that, and in such a silly kind of way, you know what I mean? Like, you feel all these type of like emotions, but at the same time, it's like, you just gotta exhale for a second, because it's like, how, you're asking yourself, how could you do all these things, blah, blah, blah.
And what are the emotions that you
like
feel?
The emotions I felt angry. I felt like, why would you do that? Like, why would you disrespect me and us like that? Do you know what I mean? Like, for what? For like a short time that you had on a show? Like, do you know what I mean? Because the show wasn't about love. It wasn't even any of that. So it's like, and you know what I mean? It's like, it's okay for you to go out and make friends, be friends with the opposite sex and stuff like that. But it's like, there's boundaries in place. This isn't even a boundary cross. This is just like, straight, you don't do this if you're in a relationship. Do you know what I mean?
Right.
And it's like, I know now there's like people as well that's like around on the table when this is happening. So it's like, there's people that know you and I are together and you've done this as well. Do you know what I mean? So it's like, I'm processing a lot of stuff, but it's like, I'm trying to keep us away from the embarrassment of it online and everything as well.
That's right, because that's a whole nother...
It's a whole nother like thing that you got to deal with. And for the most part, like, I continue to play my part. Like, you know, on her birthday, it's like I still have to show up because the internet doesn't know.
But you two had broken up already.
Yeah, and people might say, oh, it's just a kiss and all that. But then I don't actually know what the story is, because like there's certain elements that are part of the story that's like, it confuses me as to like, how can this happen? Do you know what I mean? I don't want to go into, because it's like I don't want to actually like spread too much like info about it or whatever. But I feel like when I posted my New Year's dump,
Yes.
I feel like that was a thing for me where it was like, I'm starting this year fresh now. I need to choose myself.
And just to clarify for the 5 people who don't know, is that you did your New Year's dump, basically,
yeah.
of here's a reflection of my year, and you posted a full carousel, and in it you don't include any photos, any imagery of Indiyah, and so people see that, and then it goes to another level.
It goes into another level, and they make up their new stories and whatever it is, and that's how I feel like then everything happened. And I remember, at this point, things are like moving fast now. And then now this sudden story, apparently now we're finding out there's someone that was there and there's like a recording of it. I have to listen to everybody's phone ping at the same time. There's like all of my friends all on their phones, and we're all getting this video. It comes up TikTok at the same time, and I have to look at everyone and myself, watch this video, and then look at all my friends, watch the same video, and everyone's in shock. Because there's one thing of like, okay, yeah, you've heard it, but then seeing it is a bit like, and then it feels even way more than, how it was expressed to me. And it's like, then I'm dealing with all this stuff and,
And just if I can.
Yeah, go for it.
So this is January 10th.
Mm-hmm.
The video surfaces online where you see Indiyah kissing someone else.
Yeah.
Okay.
Literally. And I guess from that point, it was just like, yeah, nah, this is it's embarrassing, and then it's just disrespectful, because like we've been like, I don't know, I just feel like it just wasn't worth whatever we had to do that. But at the same time, it's like I just had to remove myself from that situation, and like, but at the same time, still wasn't enough for the internet, because the internet still want to believe I had to have done something first. It's still on me, and then it's AI and it's not real, and it's like, what did Dami do? Or Dami's been cheating for a time, so she's just getting her lick back. Or what Dami did in Casa, Amor, oh, this why he's doing that. Or Dami's joked the other day, why wouldn't she do it? Or how Dami dresses, oh, that's why she's done it. And people are like, oh my God, I'm so like, she should cheat on him again. Do you know what I mean? All these things I'm seeing online, it's like, you can hate me, you can say all these things, but like, I stand for women, protecting women, but it comes to a point where it's like, what have I actually done to you guys? I ain't done anything. And now it's like, I've been dealing with it privately. I've not spoken about it. I never wanted to speak about it. It's calm. But now publicly I have to deal with it. And the whole embarrassment of it publicly, and people, making mockery of it, and, joking about the both of us. And we're having to go through this whole turmoil of like, what was such a beautiful relationship, and, to now this is how it ends. It's a bit like, it's a bit sad.
Why didn't you say anything?
Because at the same time, I generally still have like a care for her, and it's like I've loved her. I've been with her for so long. There's a level of care that I'll always have, and at the end of the day, it's like, I'm not trying to bash on her or I don't want anything to happen to like who she is or whatever it is. Like, I want her to still be good. Do you know what I mean? So for me, it's like, I don't really need to say it, and I don't have to explain myself to the internet, but it's like, but for me, when I'm seeing people just always trying to twist things, and you're now further trying to make me this villain, or I must have done something, it's just like, you know what? It's kind of grinding on the teeth. Like, it's like,
right.
If you don't know something, and if you don't speak about it, they have time to then form their own ideas as to why everything has happened, and it's just a lot of noise.
All right. So for everyone making the noise,
yeah,
they will be listening to you right now.
It's fine.
What do you want to tell them?
You know what? Good question. Shut the fuck up. In the most polite way. You know what I mean? Let people live. Like, at the end of the day, situations happen. Like, I don't want any, like, trouble for my ex and everything as well. Like there's none of that. It's like we're both people like, yeah, it's happened, but we moved on. We've processed it. We're civil at this point now. So it's like, I just want to be able to like if you don't know something, don't make up something. So
Right, fair. That's fair enough. Now you just said that you and Indiyah are civil now.
yeah, like
So do you talk?
I don't say we talk all the time. Like obviously she'll still have happy birthday, all this stuff. It's like, but we're giving ourselves that window of like, space to like just heal and process this and deal with it and just go, our ways.
Okay.
So
Okay. And what it sounds like is, and you actually said it, is that you wish her the best.
Yeah,
and you
always wish her the best.
want the best for her.
yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. Now, a lot of, I think what's happening now is probably because Inside UK is on. Is on air right now. Do you watch it?
No, I didn't watch it. It's just whatever comes up on TikToks, but I just because the whole time, bro, you can't even scroll out all these little edits and people tagging me and stuff. So those are the only things that I would see, but don't really have any reason to watch this one. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I feel like there's no reason to really watch it, so it's cool.
Yeah. I appreciate you just sharing that because it was interesting. I was talking to a friend of mine who said, "Oh my God, I can't believe Dami's is coming in. He's never said anything about the relationship. I can't wait to hear his opinion." And I think from his perspective, he said that, the community really lifted the two of you up.
Yeah.
And I think that you both gave a lot of inspiration and hope
Yeah.
to a lot of people. And so when you two broke up, talk about parasocial relationships, is that a lot of people felt that pain. And just hearing your perspective will be helpful for many.
I hope so.
Yeah. No, I think it will. So now here's a question that will test how healed you are.
Okay, well, hit me. I feel like I know what you're going to say.
You know what I'm going to say? You know what I'm going to say?
No, go ahead.
All right, let me say it. Have you thought about dating again?
Yeah. Yeah, I'm not opposed to dating. I mean, I have to get back on the horse,
Okay.
and saddle away.
It's settled?
Like I don't spend too much in like dwelling in pain and stuff like this. I just have to put my best foot forward and keep going, man.
Yes.
Like life's not done yet, so
You got to go forward.
yeah, whoever's out there for me, be out there for me.
Okay. So now talking about who's out there for you, can I show you something?
Oh, you got someone for me?
Can I show you something?
Wait, what?
Can I show you this? All right. I want you to tell me. Okay, you ready?
Yeah.
Okay, you ready for this? All right. I want you to tell me, who's this?
Oh, what you do, bro? That's just my bestie, bro. She's
This
like
your
my
bestie?
That's my bestie, Uch, man, like my older sister.
All right.
Yeah.
Because
Yeah, I put on a date. Yeah, I was just joshing. I was trolling,
see this
bro.
is see what you do.
Yeah, but
you do this
because people been putting us together and banding us together for so long and saying that we've been having a secret relationship and an affair, but really and truly, that's just being my bestie.
Yeah.
Like, you know what I mean? Like I have a whole lot of friends in the industry, and it's like anytime I'm with women that are very beautiful, pretty, they want to pin it that, oh no, they're definitely doing something. They have to be doing something. But nah, she's just like my older sister.
Yeah.
Like she's actually my bestie. Like I think we went to the Brits and
Yes.
they were like, they made a whole thing with me and Dami with this, influencer girl. Mind you, that's big Uche Notori, bro. She ain't no small somebody.
Right.
So it's like, yeah, but that's just my. You tried it though. You tried it. So you funny like that, huh?
But you know what I do like is I had a proper stalk of your IG in particular, and what I can see is that you have a lot of relationships with men and women, platonic.
Yeah.
And I think that you're showcasing that you could be a man, have a relationship with a woman, and it be friends.
Yeah, just friends. Yeah.
Yeah. That in itself, I think, is a myth that we can't be friends with girls.
Yeah, I feel like people actually just think that, and I feel like even in like if I ever get in a relationship, I'm not a person that wouldn't want my person to not have male friends and female friends. You know what I mean? I love when you can be friends with the opposite sex and it not have to be sexual or weird. You get what I'm saying? And I feel like I have a lot of that, and I've been having a lot of that. But obviously, parasocially, they would love to assume that when you're in a relationship, you can't have those things.
Right.
Do you know what I mean? And if I'm out by myself with my friend, it's like that's weird. why are you on a date with your friend by yourself when you have a girlfriend at home? But it's like, bro, it's okay to just chill with your friends by themselves alone. Do you know what I mean? But then sometimes I have to think in my head when I was in a relationship, it's like if I'd go out with my friend, and I'll snap it though, I'll put it on, so it's like I'm not hiding anything. Do you know what I mean? Because there could be someone behind me or someone over there sneakily recording me and trying to make a whole situation, oh, Dami's quiet. Do you know what I mean? But I live my life so loud that I want you to actually know who I am, how I am, and just understand that, like, you know what I mean? Free will.
Free will. Free will. Hey there. We have conversations just like this one every week. So if you haven't already, hit subscribe, and I'll see you for the next one. If you think about that time, that period of the late 1990s, early 2000s in Ireland, what do you believe was the lowest moment for you?
I don't know how this period started, but like, you know, men, boys, they always take the piss. And there was one day in class, I think one of the guys that, like, it was like I was getting ganged up on, like, you know, everybody was like dropping jokes on me, and they were making like small, like, passable racist remarks that, like, even the teacher was still writing on the board. And this all, you can hear all this stuff that's going on, but you're not turning around, you're not doing anything. And everyone's making all these like black jokes, you know what I mean? All these like, your dad's disappeared, even though my dad's still in my life. All these like, comparing me to chocolate bars and all these, you know, all these just like quick snickering insults. And every time I make a joke, because, you know, I'm the only black person here now, and it's a class full of maybe 14, 15 white boys, so it's silence. And we're in a SPHE class, which is all about social and all this stuff. And it's like, this is the type of class where you should actually be saying these things aren't actually allowed, but nothing's actually happening. And I must have said, like, I think then I must have hit this guy with a joke that, like, everybody just turned around and they were like, what? How could you say that? This, that, and the other. I was like, I have not said anything like as bad as whatever you guys have said, right? But I was apologetic for my joke. So I come out now, and I think this is where everything changed. This is the moment where everything changed now. Because it was like, it was a way where it's like, I come out now, everybody's angry with me and my joke, even though everybody's being laughing. Even the teacher now finally turned around. Do you know what I mean?
Oh, to say that what you said was unacceptable.
Yeah, Dami, get out. And I said, what? So I'm outside now taking a little breather. I maybe settling to myself that, like, oh, maybe what I actually said was too far. Cool. I'm hearing now, like, everybody's like angry, and they come out there saying they want to fight me. I didn't want to fight anyone. I said, like, it doesn't actually have to go to this. And I remember we're inside this like secondary PE room.
Yes.
And like no one's there. It's all like closed up boxed off. It's like shower room or whatever.
Right.
And I remember I was like, everyone just formed around, and I was like, oh, like, you know, still trying to plead my way out of this, because it's like, I actually don't want to fight. You know what I mean? But I said I don't want to hit you either, though, because if it's a thing where it's like, okay, I deserve these hits because of what I said, fair, I'll take it.
Wow.
And then guy kept hitting me, kept punching me, but I was still standing, and he was getting more upset because I wasn't punching back. And he was saying, nah, I need to fight back. But I just kept letting it hit me. And I feel like it wasn't enough, though, because I've taken the hits now, and everyone's gone home. But then the next day, because I didn't fight back, it now needs to turn into a whole fiasco of like, we need to go again.
Wow.
And I'm like, brother, like, we've already like squashed this. Like, do you know what I mean? This should be enough now for us to, like, you know, carry on, like, whatever way it is that we're going to carry on, just carry on. But at this point now, I've already said no, but if you're going to do it again, I'm going to punch you back. Because I've taken my hits. Right. And at this point, I'm readying myself now, because it's like, I can't let people think that I'm someone that you're going to keep, like, doing this to. I've given you the first one. So the next one, obviously I've beaten them up. It was very quick, very fast. But then now they're angry with it, because now I've beaten them up. So then it becomes a whole thing of like different people from different points of the school, people that are even expelled, that aren't even in the school. Like, everybody now wants a piece of me. Do you know what I mean? Everybody now wants a piece of this black guy that doesn't seem to fall down when you hit him. And I remember some guy went on Facebook at the time, and obviously on Facebook, everybody can see what everyone's saying. And he was like, oh, this chocolate bar is going to get it tomorrow, or this kick out, whatever, blah, blah, blah. And I'm seeing over like, what, 200 likes. And these are all it's from the school. And at this point, I'm not telling my parents about this. Like, there's no one I can really like go to my siblings are young. It's just me.
And you didn't go to the teachers.
The thing is, no one can snitch. You're not. It's like you just can't tell. You can't like snitch at this. You know what I mean? It just became a whole like uproar. Like all the other schools now are hearing about this. Even my old school, all my other friends like that I'm not with anymore. They're all hearing about this. The girls' school. It's like I didn't come to this school to fight. Do you know what I mean? But it's like it gets to a point. And I remember the last fight that I ever had to have was with this kid that was expelled. And I remember the vice principal at the school, he brought me into his office because I feel like the older years, they met me outside and they've obviously been hearing about, all these fights and they felt sorry for me. He was like, Dami, like I'm hearing all this stuff that's happening. And honestly, this is what he said. He said, honestly, if you're going to fight, just don't do it in your uniform. And I said, but the only thing is, I knew he hated the guy that was expelled.
You basically got the approval of the only kind of body of authority to say you could do it.
Yes, and it's like when obviously they told him, they probably thought he was going to say, okay, speak to me and maybe try and find a way for me to leave school quietly where I don't actually have to be outside, blah, blah, blah. I must have been walking out and it was the school bell rang and we're all walking down and it's like, it was a whole swarm of people, like even parents, like school buses were not going to move. Like everybody like stood still just to come and see what was happening. It was like over, I'd say like 400, like 500 people just coming to,
to watch you fight.
To watch, because the thing is, I was making so much news about everybody that I was beating up. And obviously now everybody now wanted to see this person that everyone keeps talking about.
Right.
And it's become this whole spectacle of like, oh, why is no one able to beat him up? Why is he this, that, and the other? And obviously the guy that was expelled, he's really popular. Like he's a bad boy, like he's really popular, whatever, this, that, and the other. And I'm popular too at this point. So it's like now everybody's here to come and see this. And they've obviously seen the racist stuff that he's put online to come and like, do all these things. And I remember walking, past the school buses, like through the lanes, and before I know it, I'm in the middle of this big circle that I didn't even, like, I was just walking and then suddenly I'm wrapped around everybody. And someone's taken my bag now. I've given my bag. I think I've seen my bag just being flicked somewhere, just put somewhere, wherever it is. And before I know it, not even a time for conversation, it's like bros just stepped towards me and he's like, oh, so you ready, yeah? You ready? I don't know if you call me chocolate bar again or whatever. He's like, but are you ready yet? And again, I plead like, look, bro, we don't actually have to do this. Do you know what I mean? Because that's the one thing I always say to people. We actually don't have to fight. There has to be something else before we actually have to get physical that maybe we can just leave it as. But if you hit me, we gotta, I've made a vow to myself. From now on, if you hit me, then we actually gotta go. And I remember he's come up now and he's punching me. And I like, the punches are severe. Like in every other fight that I felt, I could feel these ones like so intensely, so painfully. I was thinking in my head, today's gonna be the day that maybe, I actually fall. And I'm trying to find like all the pieces of clues of like, what am I supposed to do? As I'm like trying to like weave and trying to punch back and try to whatever, but I'm still getting hit. And it's like nothing I'm doing in this instance is actually working, And I remember like just had a flashback earlier in the day of my MMA friend talking about, bro, you have such long reach. Just like step back and then, and I just remember him saying it to me and somehow I don't know if God entered my body or something happened. It was a way where it's like I stepped back, weave, and then fell down, lights out. And in that moment, it was like it was a sense of like, this was the last battle that I'd ever have to do. Like nobody would touch me now. Do you know what I mean?
Yes.
And from then, it's like I created this like safe, harmonic like space in this town for my siblings and everybody else, because now nobody would be racist to them, nobody would touch them, and it's a thing where it's like I'm almost like a hero now.
Hero. But all right, this is an amazing story.
Sorry, I've been going off. No. I've been going off on a tangent. I'm so sorry.
No. That's not a tangent, because that was the seminal event in your childhood that not only reshaped how people viewed you, but how you viewed yourself. And then also how people related to your siblings,
Yeah.
right? So you could see how that moment changed you. My question, though, is how do you believe it changed you? So who were you before kind of like those series of fights?
Mm.
And then who did you become?
I was someone that was scared of being alone, wanted to like, fit in and, try to appease the people, just to do that. But then through the series of fights, I stopped being scared of being alone. It's like me being myself was enough. And if nobody else vouched for me, if nobody else fought for me, I'd fight for myself. And, that's just it. But again, it's okay.
Yeah, but is it okay, right?
I mean,
because I see you saying this is what people keep saying,
mm-hmm.
and it's okay. But after you hear something enough, it has to impact you. It has to affect you.
I feel like I've been hearing it for so long, it doesn't really like affect me anymore though. I feel like there would have been a certain point where it's like you start looking inwards and start questioning yourself. You're like, oh, is what I'm doing not cool enough? Do I have to be cooler? Do I have to appear a bit more masculine now? Do I have to like, do certain things? But I feel like what really changed me and to make me not like care anymore, I don't even want to go into, sensitivity of it, is when my dad died. That's when I feel like everything anyone could say about me, everything anyone could do to me, it just didn't matter anymore. It's like the pinnacle of my life and all the stuff that, I've done, and my guidance counselor is now gone. So it's like the words of everybody else and stuff, it just it doesn't hurt anymore, So it's like.
Can we talk about your father?
Yeah, we can talk about him.
We
can talk about him.
It gives me chills when you said that, because I could see how he was everything to you. Everything. And he recently passed away. It's 2024.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. And can you recall the last conversation you had with him?
Yeah, I feel like it's kind of strange because, dads and, sons, like, the last conversation I had with him was like the longest FaceTime we've ever had. And I think I was modeling for something, and it was like taking my friend with me. When you call your friend on FaceTime, you're driving your car,
yes,
and you're just talking about your day, and he's expressing himself as well, and he's giving out about my sisters and stuff like this, and I'm just speaking to him, and he doesn't even want to get off the phone. Like, we're joshing it, and it's like, I feel like in a period where I grew up with my dad, it's like it wasn't always so smooth. My dad kind of like, there was a thing about like when I was younger, when I'd be disciplined or whatever, or he'd be angry, he would always do this thing before, and I used to not like him. And he'd always do this thing where it'd be like, he'd hit me or whatever because I've done something, or maybe he's just angry with something that's not working out for him, and then he would come back home and then he would be like, hey son, not speaking about the situation that was happening. And I remember, like, I feel like for a long time in my life, it's like I learned to forgive people even when they don't say sorry. And I feel like I kind of hold on to that. Even like I feel like I'm just a forgiving person. I don't care enough to like have hate or have, make people like, a villain in my head and I have to like push them. Do you know what I mean? I feel like There's more to life than, you know what I mean? Like I think my heart is very bright. You know what I mean? There's no way you can go in there and it's dark. You know what I mean? So I feel like that carried on into probably, certain aspects of, my relationship and whatever it is. But yeah, the last conversation with my dad, it was that. And I remember I was at the Mobos, and I was presenting for a while, and I was presenting at the Mobos at that time, 2024. And literally the next day, I presume, I think my dad, he must have had a stroke and he was in the hospital. Like, he checked himself to the hospital, and suddenly now we're with him in the hospital, and this thing that just seems like, oh, it's not serious, just keeps getting more and more serious. And it hurts me the most because the night when he passed, it was my little sister's birthday, because her birthday was on the 24th of February. And it felt like we had her birthday, we did it in the hospital, had a cake or whatever. And literally before, my parents went back home, they were thinking, oh, they're going to see him tomorrow. But I stayed back, I think with my sister and something else. I can't remember which other sibling was with me. Yeah. But I remember like I stayed back, and then when it stuck, the clock struck like maybe 11:45. Yeah, all the rooms start beeping and everything start beeping. But I remember I went to him before that, and I was just speaking to him, and obviously he's not able to like respond to me now. He's in a bad place that I've never seen my dad like this before, and it's kind of like horrifying, because like this person that was like literally speaking to the other day, and we were like joshing up, and I didn't know that was going to be the last conversation that we'd be able to have where he'd speak to me. And we had that, but then it's like, here I'm trying to speak to him, I'm trying to pray life back into him. I'm trying to like plead with God and just say, please, you know what I mean? Just
man, I'll tell you what.
You know when you just plead.
Yeah.
Like I've never had my heart broken before. I've never had my heart broken before, but when life went out of him, my heart shattered, and everything just.
You know, that's my greatest fear. That's my greatest fear, and you've gone through it. And that's why I have so much respect for everybody who's been able to walk that path. And especially you as the older brother. Because you have, I would imagine, did you feel like you had, now you have a sense of responsibility?
Yeah, I'm the man of the house now. It's like.
Just like that.
Just like that. It's like whatever passage he had just went into me now. It's like I have to do all these things. And it's like, but I didn't want you to finish doing all these things. I still wanted to have someone to look up to. I still want to have someone I can, take care of and give back to. You know what I mean? Like I didn't feel like I was complete with all that. Like I still had more to give you. Do you know what I mean? And it's like, now you're gone. And I just remember my mom, everybody, they came rushing back, and it was like I was still the last person to have the last moment with him as well. And this is happening. Yeah, everything is just like, from then I feel like the sense of responsibility to share like the way I used to be, where I used to like shop so much, I used to like buy gifts, everything just started like, it clicked in my mind that like, I have to lock in now. This is like I gotta make sure my mom, my siblings are good. Like all of them, they're in uni, they're working, like everyone has that, but it's like, Dad's gone now, and it was so like rapid that there was no real like time, because at least some people get time. Like you get told, oh, you got 6 months, you got 1 year, so you can plan stuff. There was no planning. It's just abrupt, and it's just gone. You know what I mean? And this is just it. And then it's like I had to take the reins, and literally, I feel like for so long, I didn't want to go red carpets. I didn't want to do anything. It's like, yeah, that's why I feel like when I said it doesn't affect me anymore, it's like,
I see.
It's like, yeah, okay, what now? Do you know what I mean? The hardest thing that could have happened to me in life has happened. You think you have so much time with your parents, and then suddenly one of them goes. Because I've met friends, and I've had people like, they lose someone that's important to them. And it's like, damn, I would never want that to be me. And then it's you, and you have no control over it. Like, it's a whole bubble of like, I'm still grieving. Like, I don't even know when I'll stop grieving. Like, like I'm talking about my dad today. I don't want to cry about that. You feel like the pain that I feel like I've already processed is still there. Like, I feel like, oh, maybe I'm done, but suddenly now I'm here with you and I'm crying about it. It's like, it's a hard one, but at the end of the day, it's like everything I try to do now is just to like, I try to just keep doing things to make him proud, or, keep doing things to like, amplify his life through me, and all the things that he's done for us to be here. I'm just going to have to keep doing it. So like it reaches the heavens that like, yo, your son's doing pretty good now. You know what I mean?
Yeah, look at that.
Look at that. So
well, you know what? From everything that I know, and I did a whole lot of research before you got here, is I believe he continues to be incredibly proud of you. Incredibly proud of the man that you've become, and how you show up for others. I think that's so important. And I love this through line of loyalty and confidence. You have this very quiet confidence about you that I think that you want to continue, to exhibit. Can I give you another surprise?
Go on, hit me.
You ready for this?
I'm scared now after this last one, so I don't even know if I want to see this one again.
All right, are you willing to close your eyes on this one?
All right, close my eyes. Just don't kiss me though.
All right. Thank you for the trust. All right, now open it up.
Bro, I hope this is like a 100K check.
It's better.
It's better?
It's better than a 100K
It's better
check.
than 100. Y'all hearing this?
It's better than a 100K check. I want you, if you are willing, to read that letter out loud, please.
Whew, okay. To my brother, from the day I met you, I knew you were different. You had this strength about you, but what stayed with me was your heart, the way you care for people, the way you show up even when you've got your own battles. When your dad passed, I watched everything change. The whole family was shattered. There was pain everywhere and much heartbreak. And in the middle of that, you didn't fall apart. You carried everyone. I'll never forget watching you stand there and read theology. I don't know how you did it. You spoke with strength, with love, like you were holding the whole family together with your words. And in that moment, I remember thinking, he's not just grieving, he's stepping up. You became the one everyone leaned on. But what really stayed with me is what people didn't see. You never let yourself break in front of everyone else. You held it in. You stayed strong for them. And I know you were going somewhere quiet to deal with that pain on your own. That's the part that gets me. Because that's not just strength, that's sacrifice. You didn't just lose your dad. You gave up your space to grieve properly so your family wouldn't fall apart. And somehow, you still kept your promises. You still became the man he raised you to be. I've always respected you. But after that, I look at you differently. You're not just strong. You're the reason people around you don't break. I love you, bro. And I'm proud of you in a way I'll probably never be able to fully explain. Your brother, your friend. Real.
You know who wrote that?
Is it my brother? My little brother? Who? My best, who? What?
Watch
My
this.
best friend?
This is interesting. You know what I love is that there's so many people in your life who could have
Bro,
written that
yeah,
letter.
that's what I'm saying. My best friend, Wally.
There you go. Who's that right there?
That's Wally, man. That's my life partner, bro. But we just ain't gay. You know what I'm saying? That's my life partner right there, for real.
You know how I know it is that you've mentioned him many times in our conversation already.
Yeah.
He's been with you at these inflection points in your life. And what's interesting to me, and I think this is a showcase of great friends, is that every time there was an inflection point, your relationship became even stronger.
Not real. Very real. Shout out Wally though. Shout out my boy.
Yeah. I tell you what, I will hold on to that, but I'll give that to you.
Damn, bro nearly got me crying again on, bro. What are you doing?
You know, what I love is that I love to have a conversation where we touch on every emotion. We've laughed, where you almost had me in tears in here. And I think that's a reflection of healthy masculinity.
Real.
And I'd love to get your perception on how has that term masculinity changed for you over the years?
I feel like the term masculinity for me is the freedom in owning your masculinity, even if it might be flamboyant sometimes or it might be a little sassy. It's like men have attitude too. And it's like being able to like express that in a way that you're confident with and comfortable, you know. And I feel like over the years, it's touched me in ways in how I dress, how I speak. You know, I'm part of the girls. You know, all these little things that like, you know, people might deem as zesty, sassy, all these stuff. It's like, I'm still a very masculine man. I get shit done. I pay the bills. I do the stuff that I need to do. But at the same time, my personality is going to shine through. And even if my masculinity might seem shaky to you, it's not, because it's still masculine. Like every fiber, every part of me, however way you may deem it, is still very masculine. You know what I mean? It doesn't take away from it doesn't take away from my masculinity.
Yeah. So a lot of people ask me, how do I define masculinity?
Yeah.
Because I think for a lot of people it's hard, especially nowadays. And to me, what masculinity is it is strength that's not rigid.
Yeah.
Responsibility that's still emotionally aware and emotionally connected. To me, that's you.
To me, yeah.
That's you. And I think when people say, "Yeah, this guy Dami Hope, he's not a masculine guy," I think that they are throwing back to a very toxic version of what masculinity used to be thought of. Right? You are the way forward, and I think that's why I was so excited to talk to you, because I wanted to see it for real.
Yeah.
Right.
I feel like you got a little bit of me and you too, man. I feel like we kind of one and the same.
Oh man,
I
think we're very similar. Yeah. I'm a little upset because you outdressed me today.
Nah, you looking fly too, bro. You got the little Rick Dog Mars, bro. You see?
I mean, but I see the whole situation, which means that we have to talk about fashion a little bit.
Yeah.
Just a little bit.
You can touch on it.
When did fashion become important to you?
I feel like when I touched university, and it wasn't just like fashion is just clothes. It was more so like how I would change my hair color, how I would like try and relax it, how I would try and get jerry curls, and it became.
Oh, you had a jerry curl?
Yeah, bro. I was running. I was running that stuff back in uni, thinking that was the
really?
shit.
With the activator,
bro. Activator, that shit was bouncing. It was bouncing, bro. And I remember, bro, like back when I was at uni, I feel like there was just like. There's a level of expression that was free. I'd get an eyebrow piercing.
Yeah.
I'd like do things that just felt expressive, and I feel like then it just tapped into like from that into clothes. Like I'd look at myself in the mirror, and you'd put like sport core and smart together, and seeing how they like sit together, and you'd look and you're like, it's kind of eat. And then it became a whole like thing of like experimenting, and I feel like with science as well, there's a science to fashion too.
Right.
So it's like you got to experiment with different things, and you got to like try things. And at first, they might be the worst experiments, bro, but to you feel confident and you feel like good. And I feel like over the years, like when I look back at some of the stuff I was wearing, I'm just like, bro, that ain't really it. But now it's like, I just kept going out, and I kept wearing my own clothes, and I started looking at everyone else, and no one else was dressing like me. And then it started making me feel like, I'm special, I'm unique. Because it's like, fashion is subjective, right? But it's like, when you wear something, so it's like you're bringing your own identity into your clothes. So like when people see you, the first thing is like, oh, like he looks, you could have no money in your account, and you dress good. Yes. You look like the richest person in the room. So it's like, there is like an identity to like who you're trying to become and who you want to be, that when you're wearing your clothes, that like, I was always trying to like be a part, be a part of, is making me stepping into this character and this person that I actually am.
Yes.
Do you know what I mean?
Can we touch on something? You just said something that I tell my boys all the time. Because I have Dami, you will appreciate this. I have a full bedroom that I've converted into my into my wardrobe.
Damn, how big your house? Whoa. Okay, sir. Okay, sir.
Come on now.
Okay.
I've been on TV for a while, but a full room, right? And then I've taken over the landing as well, right?
Okay.
And I go into my situation, I've got everything color coordinated, everything right set up, everything nicely. And my boys are like, Dad, like, what are you doing? And I said, I never want to go anywhere where someone looks like I look.
Real.
Right? And you just said the same thing. Why do we feel this way?
Because, bro, we're special, we're unique. you want to feel like, it's like everyone can dress the way they dress, like, but I just don't ever want to go somewhere and someone has the same identity as me, bro. It's like we're standing in our own power by the way we dress. You know what I mean?
Yes. So you feel, because this is how I feel too, it's an expression.
Yes.
It's me boldly saying, this is who I am.
Yes.
And I don't know if you feel this way too, but I feel as if I'm also saying, take me for what you see, and if you don't like it.
That's literally it.
Yeah.
But people always like it though. That's the thing. That's the thing though. They always like it though. They always do though. There's always more. It's always more to like it than not.
They're not true. It's true.
It's so true. So like, if you know yourself, like it's like for me, it's like when I'm wearing clothes, I don't go out thinking, oh, someone's gonna notice me and stuff and all these things. But the people that do come up, they be like, oh my God, bro, you dress so sick, you dress like this. And it's like been happening from even before, I went on the show. So it's like, and then now it's just amplified,
Right. I mean, so this is you. This is truly, authentically you. So is this how you started to get into fashion? Because you have your own fashion line.
Yeah, I have my own fashion line.
Okay, let's speak on it.
Yeah, Snow Bunny. And I feel like, for me, even the name, since we just touched on it, since we're here and we're speaking about everything, I feel like, for me, I like the name because I thought it was sexy.
Okay.
Yeah. And I know the name obviously has one meaning of, that, but that's the derogative term that people just made up. And
I think there's a couple meanings, though.
Yeah, there's a lot of meaning. And
There's
there's the actual meaning of like a novice skier.
Yes.
That's the actual real meaning in the dictionary. It means a novice skier. And I remember when I was making it, I had like this idea to put like a rabbit in a balaclava. And I was like, this is my first like drawing of it or whatever. And I know there's controversy to it. Like, I get it, but I'm not someone that wants to be boxed in by things other people made up, because at one point someone has made it into this derogative term, right? But that's not what it means, and there's so many other meanings for it. So why can't I have it mean something that it means to me, and not allow myself to be boxed up because of what everybody else thinks?
Okay.
Okay. And I feel like when I was making it, it was another form of expression of just doing whatever I want. And like the clothes that I'm making, it's like you have to introduce, like, obviously, because we're living in the UK, and you have to do like an introduction thing to it. So I start with like, track suits, we call them snow suits, you know what I mean? So we play on all that stuff. And then I feel like this year is when I actually go into the real advancement of like what I've actually been trying to create. Because,
Really?
you create like from time. So it's like there's always building blocks to like show people what you're doing and stuff. And I feel like it was a no-brainer for me not to have my own fashion brand. It was a no-brainer. It was always going to happen. Like,
do you believe that is? I mean, I know you're a multi-hyphenate, so there's a lot that you do.
Yeah.
But do you think that fashion is going to become more and more part of your day-to-day?
Yeah, I feel so. Yeah.
Okay.
Alongside everything else that I do want to do, still, yeah.
Okay.
I like being busy, I guess.
Yes.
There's a beauty and there's a fun to it. Just like I like hustling. I like making my way. I like making things. I like reaching milestones that I've set for myself. And like this year, it's like I keep saying free will, because I actually want to do all the things that I want to do, and I don't want to hesitate on it. Do you know what I mean? If I want to make music tomorrow, I'm going to do it.
Okay.
If I want to write a book, I'm going to do it. I've written a book already. It's like all these things that I want to do, I'm just going to do. All the things that I was passionate about that we were talking about from earlier, it's now time to like hone in on that as well and use my free will to experience all these things, where there's traveling, where there's all these things, trying all these new things. It's like I want to allow myself to do those things,
Yes.
So I can look back one day and I'm like, you really did use your free will, bro.
Yes, your free will. I like it. You've used your free will.
Yeah.
All right. So now, Dami, is there anything that we have not yet talked about that you want to talk about?
I feel like one thing I haven't touched on is probably, my accents. I feel like people get misconstrued and they feel like, I'm putting on an American accent.
Okay.
And obviously I'm Irish. When I see other fellow Irish people, my accent just code switches into that, But I feel like for me, when I speak clearly, like when I see like black people, Nigerian people, I go into the whole Niger accent, and they talk like this, and
right.
we move. It's a whole lot of code switch. And when we were growing up, like obviously my mom she was hard of hearing, so like sometimes it would be like a situation where like because obviously she's Yoruba fluent, obviously she speaks English, but at the same time it's like when you're speaking so fast and you have an Irish accent, it's like she's trying to read your lips and catch them, like, so I would have to like slow down my words, and then it would sound like I'm American, but I'm not. I'm just trying to pronounce my words clearly. You know what I mean? Like I can do the American accent and do all those things because I'll be doing that. You know what I'm saying? But it's just like when I speak clearly and people misconstrue that, oh, nah, he's putting on an accent. Where's his Irish accent? I feel like people that don't know I'm from Ireland or whatever, they just firstly assume that, oh, he's trying to be American. But then there's thick Irish words. You can be like, you're right there, fella. You want to go down to the pub, do you? I fuck me. But like, I'm not going to come around. I'm not coming, like, bro, it's like I'm going to come to the UK now and I'm like, you're right there, fella. Yo, let's go to the pub, man. You know what I mean? But like, you see, when you're growing up with the guys and you're joshing and they speak like that, it's natural, innit? But after a while, it's just like, when I break it down, I actually think this isn't my actual voice, even though people want to tell me it isn't my voice. I do feel like it is.
Right. So you almost don't know what your voice is.
I know I have many accents under my belt, but, whoop-de-doo.
Oh my gosh. You know what's so wild to me about that is I feel like when people hear that term code switch, it seems like it's this negative thing.
Yeah.
Right. But from everything, I mean, one is if you are black, a matter of fact, I saw a study that showed that black professionals code switch 70 to 80% of the time.
Yeah.
Right. But we're doing it as an adaptive strategy.
Strategy, yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And so where white professionals code switch at a much lower percentage.
Yeah.
But now that I've been in the UK
Mm-hmm.
for about 8 years, I now can see how many people code switch into posh sounding,
yes.
especially in the professional
Especially in
environment.
the first, yes.
Yes.
I see it. Like I can see right through you guys. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I was like, I see what you're doing.
I see what you're doing, and they sound all sweet and nice. And then I try to do the posh because I've not been here for so long. It doesn't sound the same, And then, but I understand. I feel like there's an art form to code switching because sometimes it's actually helpful to be adaptive. Because if I go to Nigeria now and I'm in the market, and then I'm trying to do my accent and it sounds like I'm from abroad, but I'm trying to haggle. You know what I mean? They're gonna be trying to rip you. So I have to be like, hey, how far now this one now? How much is this one? Auntie, now please give me for, you know what I mean?
Right.
You gotta get in with the program to get what you want.
It is.
So
It's adaptive.
it's adaptive, yeah.
Yeah. Fair enough.
Yeah.
Fair enough. There you go. I'm glad we talked about that.
Yeah.
That was good. Anything else?
No, anything else? I actually don't know. I feel like I touched on a lot of things, to be honest. And your questions were amazing. Thank you for allowing me to actually be here and I guess open up,
You're welcome. Well, Dami Hope, can I say, you were incredible, my man.
Thank you. You too, bro.
I'm so happy to have met you. I'm excited about what you're going to do in the future. And what I love most is that you have remained consistently someone of high character throughout the entirety of your life. And you are someone who not only your father is incredibly proud of, but I can see that you are your grandmother's greatest dream.
Not real shit. She told me I'm the favorite. I'm the favorite.
but I know. I know. So continue on, and thank you so much for joining me.
Thank you for having me. So we saying follow back?
You got oh yeah. Definitely. I mean, Dami is a force. Loyalty, hands down, I would say is a top trait that he embodies and that he holds to a high level of value. And so you can see why when someone breaks that loyalty with him, why he's ready to walk away, because you think they've been in a relationship for almost 4 years. Many couples with therapy could work through that challenge, but he had no willingness to do it because of, I think, how much emphasis he places on loyalty. And that's his prerogative. It's hard to relinquish the memory of Dami crying over his father and how heartbreaking that moment was. And for me, that was the hardest part of this conversation, because I've trained myself to try to hold space, but I was fighting against it. I was literally, I was going over to him. And that was a challenge that I had as an interviewer. It's funny. He said, I see a little me in you. And I thought, I see a little me in you. Yeah. What's up, good people? If you've made it this far, let me tell you, I appreciate you. You are truly part of this community and you like long episodes. But quite honestly, this doesn't go unnoticed. Now, if you haven't already, I want you to hit subscribe. It's right here. And if you've really enjoyed this conversation, I know you're going to love this one.